Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut yourself. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut yourself out of a photo. I think I was already recording. This is the app right here. It's called Adobe Photoshop Mix. You should be able to get it on Android and iPhone. So as soon as it loads here, you'll have to download the app. And this app is, you can use it on your phone or a tablet. So as you guys can see, I have a couple photos in here already. And like I showed you yesterday, you can use the Canva app, the effects tool to cut yourself out of a photo. But there's some times where maybe you wanted to keep the background of a photo and you just want to, take some off, or you want a feathered look. Maybe you even want to blend some photos together. I'm trying to see here if I have, these are previous clients. Any examples? Probably a little further back. Yes, right here. Okay. So as you can see, I kept part of the photo so that you could see the background. And then what I did was I just cut off half the photo. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a new one here. I'm going to just take one of my recent branded photos. I like the one with the skateboard, but I like this one too because it's cute. I'll just take that. Okay. So this one is probably going to be a little bit hard because as you guys can see all the trees in the background, this works a lot better with images that have clean backgrounds. So just something to think about when you are taking your branded photos, to try and have a clean background. But all I did was hit the add button, and then I chose the photo from my device. It shows up in here. So right now, all I'm going to do is hit this cut out button right here. And if I touch the screen with my finger, it will automatically start, excuse me, cutting out pieces and parts of this photo. But it is a smart selection, so it works upon, um, lines, pixels, which you don't need to know that much about. But oh my gosh, excuse me. So you'll have to mess with it a little bit, to get it as close as possible. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit this button here called Invert, because I want the button inverted. That's down on the bottom. And what I want to do now is I can zoom out and zoom in to see where I still need to basically subtract or add back. So I still need to subtract some in here. The closer you get, the easier it is to work with, right up in there. Okay. And then there's just some spots here. Okay, so you can see, as you get closer, these are the pixels. They kind of look like little squares. And even in my hair here, I might take some off because it's too hard to go through. I'll have to fix that in a minute. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so you can see the edges are still super rough. They look more like squares. So you get it as good as you can with the Smart Selection tool. Usually all the bigger areas, that's what I would suggest using. And then I would, well, let's add my ankle back here too. So I was on subtract. Now I need to add back. So I'm going to hit the add. And you can see it added some more even, but I don't want that part. So that's not going to work with the add tool. So what I'm going to do is I have add, hit the plus sign for the add back on. I'm going to hit this little wand here. It's a white circle. And what that does is it goes from the Smart Selection tool to the Basic Selection tool. Now, the Basic Selection tool is literally just a looks like a pen or a paintbrush. You can change the brush size here. I'm going to make it a little larger because I have a larger area. And I'm just going to go as close as I can to the edge of the photo and get rid of some of these hard edges. Okay. And you can do the same thing with subtracting. See this little weird thing here? I'm going to hit that subtract button down on the bottom left again. And I'm just going to subtract some of that other weird stuff out and maybe try and even up some of these lines here in my pants. They look a little weird. I can hit the add again. And I'm just going in and just doctoring this up. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to feather the edge. That's what we came here to do today. But you want to get it like all these little things off here as much as possible. Remember, if you want to add stuff, you have to have the add button. If you want to subtract things away, you need the subtract button. And sometimes they get a little mixed up with what you're doing. Okay, so yeah, there's some more on my head here. I'm just going to subtract them so they don't mess with us later. Try and give it pretty, make it round so it's not weird. So it's not an awkward shape. Okay, I'm going to subtract this little weird thing here. Part of my ear is missing. All right, so like I said, you'll have to go through. It's easier. The Smart Selection tool works a lot better. And I'm just pinching the screen with my two fingers, zooming in and zooming out. That's all I'm doing here. And what I'm going to do now is on the bottom right hand of the screen, there is like, it looks like a blur dot. That's what I'm going to hit. So you can see if you slide this scale all the way down, there's no feather on it. If I slide it all the way up, there is a big feather on it or a blur. Okay, so what I usually like to do is I like to take it almost to none. And that way, this is none. You can see the edges are still a little bit rough around my body. If I just turn it on just a little bit and I zoom in here, you can see the edge of the photo is a little bit blurred. Now, I love doing this because if I need to do it quick, doesn't matter. I have like a little bit of wiggle room here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that check mark and I'm going to crop this photo just, oops. Oh, I can't because my, oh, here we go. I'm going to crop the photo by hitting that crop button and just bring it a little bit closer. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead up here to the top right. And it looks like the 3 dots with like an arrow. I'm going to hit that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save to gallery. Because I like that photo. I want it just like that, but I still want to be able to like mess with this photo a little bit, right? Because what if I wanted to keep the background? So now I can mess with this a little bit more and I can have this feathered all the way out. Maybe if I wanted to keep the background, I could go back, make sure I have the basic selection on, and maybe I want to do a bigger brush. And I'm just going to squiggle some lines here because maybe I wanted that background, right? So I can do that. And I still have basic cutout of my body, but I have some of the background. So if I were to add another photo in here, the edges of the photo would kind of blend in with whatever background I decided to add on. So I can do one of two things. I can hit the check button on the bottom right, and I could keep this photo like this, do the same thing where I save it and then upload it into Canva. Or from right here, I can also add something else. I can add a background to it. Because when you add a background from here, you can kind of blend it. So let's see. if I have any backgrounds. You know what I'm going to do, since this is what you guys will have to do. Canva has a ton of free photos, ton of free backgrounds. And because we're already working in Canva, I'm going to open it up and use a Canva background. So if I click on here, this is what we've been working on. See, show up. Okay, here we go. I just know that I already have this pink background that I want to use, that one or this one. So we already saved our other image. So I could go ahead right from here, go to the uploads button on my phone, upload whatever media I want, particularly this photo that I was using. And look, now I have a see-through picture of myself that I cut out, right? And I could add this on here. Boom. Looks awesome, right? Another phone call. Same thing, I could add it here. But if I want to blend myself into this background a little more, I want that feathered effect. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm going to save this photo right here without me. So I'm going to take that off. And this is page 7. So I'm going to hit save as, make sure I'm saving a PNG file. Number 7, download it. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to my, let's see, Photoshop Mix app, and I'm going to click, I'll go back so I can show you from the start, so what it looks like. Whoops. Oh no, I might not have saved that photo. That's okay. We're still in Mercury retrograde shadow, so this is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Okay, no, it didn't save that photo that I just did. But what we can do, I can go ahead and upload this photo and start here. And then I can upload that same photo that we just uploaded. It asked me if I wanted to resize it. I hit no. Just hit no when that comes up because it will resize to the image of whatever you uploaded. Okay, so here we are. We have our 2 photos. I could make this really big, or I can make myself show up in the full photo, right? But again, we talked about wanting to be blended in a little. So what I might do, since this is already cut out, I might just go in here and subtract a little bit more from myself, okay? And I might feather it a little bit. Probably not my hair because I want my face to be visible, okay? But maybe like my shoulder and the bottom of my hair a little bit. So you can see it's just kind of there on the sides, but not really. So now you can see that my shoulder is kind of blended in with the stars now because I made it more transparent. Okay. And you can do this with we can do it with the entire side of the body too, right? We can hit that subtract button and just probably not that much. I'm going to hit the back button, which is that up at the top, there's an undo arrow. I'm going to go to basic selection and just subtract a little bit here. I'm probably not my full leg because I feel like that might look weird. Okay, cool. So now I have this going on. I love this photo. I love this background. I can make myself look like I'm walking on water, whatever I want. Put yourself wherever you want. Put whatever background you want on the photo. Now this tool right here is awesome. Okay, so this is called the blend tool. Some photos this will not work on, some it will. It just depends on the photos that you're using, the intensity. So you can actually put yourself into the photo here. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see. But this one cuts off my face, so I really don't want that. This one, I'm too far in the background. You can't really see my shirt or anything. So these might not work because I am too blended in, right? So, but this one looks kind of cool, right? I look like I'm part of the thing. This one, I'm not really sure. I can also lower the intensity, but it looks like all these are just a little too much to blend with. So what we will do is I'm going to go ahead and delete that photo. And all I did was select it here with the blue box around it with my finger. I'm going to hit clear, and we're going to do this again with a different photo. I'm going to Lightroom and I'm going to add this one. I'm not going to resize it, but I am going to cut it out. I'm going to use that smart selection tool just to do this really quickly. And I'm only going to do the edges, and I'm going to feather it out, invert it, and make sure that you can see my face. Oh, shoot. Basic selection. Okay. I'm just going to make like a, I don't know, like a circle around me. See if that'll work for what I'm doing. And oops, thought I hit add. Promise that's going to happen to you. It just happens. Okay. So it's kind of a circle. You guys get the point. Oops, it's too far because I don't want the edge of the photo to be seen. So, okay, here we go. Now I have a little bit of my picture and their picture. So let's go back to the blend. Let's see if we can do this. That looks kind of cool. It cut my body in half, but this is what it would look like here. And yeah, so some of these aren't working out. So the other thing that we can do is do the same thing we did before, where we cut everything out of the photo and then just re-uploaded it again. Take my feather all the way down. Inverted. And then we only blend the inverted portion. So we're gonna hit add. Okay, so we're just going to do a very light feather. Okay. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is select that box. I'm gonna duplicate that, but I'm gonna go into the cutout again, and I'm going to invert it. So now we have this sides of the photo that actually we can just reset this, I think. Let's see, I'm doing this here on a whim just to see if I can do it. And I'm going to do the sides, feather them out. Okay. And I'm going to put myself behind this time. And then I'm going to blend just that middle part of the photo. There we go. So now I'm blending two photos together. And we can move these over too if you don't want yourself right in the middle. Like I said, you can mess with it. That one actually looks pretty cool. If you want, like I said, we can move this over here to the side if it's a cover photo. And now just half the photo is blended. You would just need to make sure that you were, there is, so you can see. So now you have two photos blended together and you're cut out. So you might have a background from one that you really like. Let's say you just decide you don't like that background, clear it out, add in whatever other background you want. Let's see, I might have one more. I can show you what it looks like. From, let's see, Pinterest. Oh yeah, I have a ton here. Let's just see this one. So I'm just going to make it bigger and stretch it to the way I want. And all I'm doing is dragging this layer down to the bottom so it's behind. And you can see it has the same effect. It blended into this photo. So now we have two photos in one, but the greens and all the other colors are actually a part of this photo now instead of what we had before there. Okay, and then all I have to do is save that image. And now I can go back to my Canva and open up what I was working on before. I'm just going to duplicate this, delete that, and I'm going to replace this photo with what we just created. Boom. Okay, and now I can type, put in all my other stuff, my words, anything else that I created, the silver, anything like that. But that is how you would edit your photos using the Adobe Photoshop Mix app and to feather them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will actually see you in just a few minutes.